So this is a swatch of them. And what's good about these is they take the range, you know, I kind of had 1980s Madonna, pink and turquoise and, you know, inspired colors. So these add a depth to the line that it didn't have before. And I love introducing the earthy element back in. And they work so great with the colors that already exist. So you combine magenta with the eggplant, looks fantastic. Cheddar and the Sedona, you'll die and go to heaven, right? So now we can have this great depth. A lot of people are really excited about olive. Really nice yellow green. That, because you know, before the greens were all quite cool. Evergreen was a cool base green. Lime is, you know, neon fluorescent. And so this is a really good addition. I find it warms everything up. You can see it here. I've used it with lime, and it gives a really nice depth to the greens, which I think we were missing too. So 6 new colors, which I love, love, love. And then I did do a little swatching of all the blues. I forgot Ocean yesterday, and the Instagram reminded me, you have another blue. Oh my gosh, how did I forget Ocean? My favorite blue of all time, so I squeezed it in there. So this is a representation of all the blue, because some people were wondering, you know, if they really needed the new ones.
We need the new ones.
Yeah.
Hello?
The 2 new ones have a green base. Peacock and Marine are the 2 new. You can really see how Night has a purple undercoat, a purple foundation, which I think is interesting, but they're fabulous. So I do love my blue. Blue is my favorite color. I really love blue and turquoise and stuff like that. So new paint, so exciting. And the heavy body. The new colors will only come in the bottles. We'll eventually phase tubes out. I love the tubes, but a lot of people don't. And it's just, I don't know, the great thing about the bottles is that you can see through the clear bottle and can really see the color. So I do find it easier to find the color I want with the bottle. Before the tubes are gone, remember, you can refill these. So not the new colors, but if you have the old ones and tubes, don't forget you can pop this right off. And then I fill them back up. And so do that while you can until they're all phased out. All right, same paint. I get a lot of questions. Is it the same in the tube and in the bottle? Yeah. Same thing, because that's what I like. I want to see this. I want to see a brush stroke in my paint. That to me is happiness. I want to see the hand of the artist in the work. So because we got to do 6 new colors, we also wanted to do new sets of scribble sticks. So people would ask me all year, are you going to have new scribble sticks? And I'd say, I will if you buy them. If you buy those, I'll make more. So buy them. And everyone's like, oh, we will, we love them. So I'm so happy to have the second set. So we put in the 6 colors that we missed before, and then we put in the 6 new. So no waiting for the new colors. And what's really nice about these is, again, they blend with the others. They're the non-waxy pigment-based stick that will write on slippery things and water soluble. And you know, so many questions. Number 1 question is, how are these different than distress crayons? And so different. This is more of a drawing medium. They're both great. They're both water soluble, but that's about where the similarity ends. These will have an opacity to them if you apply them thick. You know, you take a tag, cheddar scribble stick. Hello, lover. You color strong, you're going to have a strong opacity to it. They're not going to have the transparency like a distressed crayon will, but if you wet it, it will. A lot of people ask me again if they're permanent, and I just always say, well, I don't know. Depends on what you're putting them on. On this, when it's dry, it's going to be pretty permanent because this is a porous tag. On gesso, though, I could probably keep moving them around. So it depends on how sealed your paper is. But just luscious color. I mean, look at that. Don't you just want to roll around in that? So good. So good. It's great for everything. All the new deliciousness. So those are new as well. Excited about them. I'm obsessed. One thing I picked up this year as I use the scribble sticks, as you tell your customers too, I do use them in wet and dry mediums. And so if I'm using them on wet paint, I wet the stick. If I'm using them on dry paint, I keep the stick dry. Though you can wet the stick to make it blur. Like, so this is dry. If I want to come back on this, I can easily color on it with a dry stick. I can also wet it and get a painted look at the same time. But if this paint were wet, the dry stick does not work. So dip your stick in the water and then color wet on wet, and it works really good. Okay, so new sticks are coming out. Excited about those. I love, love, love this. So this I'm obsessed with. These are the new tissue collage. I keep calling them tissue. People are like, you don't have that. We call it collage paper, I guess. Collage paper, and then the little collage words packet. So you get an assortment of prints. And I think there are two, I should know this. I think there are 2 of every print, 2 of 10 maybe, in the assortment. And then you get some blank ones. And we did this thin because those of you that have had class with me know that we're always stamping on tissue wrap, which I love. I love Tim's tissue wrap. We're always stamping on deli paper and tissue and all kinds of stuff. So because these are nice and thin, here, give them a fondle. And they're almost like glassine. They have kind of a glassine surface. You can paint them, you can tint them with the scribble sticks, and then they'll disappear when you gel medium in if your background's light. If your background's dark, if I did it here, it wouldn't disappear 100%. But then I could go back with a scribble stick and I could give it a little bit of a tint and paint it. Like when we did class, probably just didn't disappear all the way because our backgrounds were kind of dark. But here on the tag, it's pretty much disappeared. And so I like to use the Dina gel medium for this tissue because it sticks it perfectly flat. You know, if you have wrinkles in your tissue, you're using the wrong glue. The wrong glue. And it might be a little bit of user error. Might be a little bit of a glue application, but listen, I'm a bad gluer. This was put on with my finger, the glue. Rub, rub. So I don't have great gluing technique. I'm not one of those ones that makes sure the back is glued properly, then stick glue to glue. Oh, I just slap it on there. But the weight of the glue, I think, has more to do with wrinkles. And because the gel medium is so thin, we shouldn't have called it gel. We should have called it matte medium, I guess, because it's pretty much fluid, really. So now we have a new glue, too. And the new glue is ultra thick. Let's see if I can find it where I put it by the end of the day. Here it is. So this has the same properties as, oh, that's glazing medium. This has the same properties as the, let me look for it. Somebody dig for me while I'm looking. It'll have the same properties as the gel medium, meaning it will dry flexible, it dries matte, it dries perfectly clear. And you know, if you need to get in there with a pen, you can get in there with a pen. Did we find it here? And I hope it didn't get nicked from me. But it will stick stuff to the fabric, because I was finding my gel medium will not stick anything to the burlap, won't stick anything to the canvas, won't stick a tag, won't stick tag to tag, which is super annoying. And so the new thick, you'll have to come back when I find it and put your finger in it, because it's not so sticky. It has a, you know, you wipe it off and you're good to go, and it has a little bit of give to it too. So, you know, if I wanted to glue this tag on this page, I would glue it on, and I thought, oh, I put it in the wrong spot, because that's a Dina thing. You know, you have a minute or so to kind of slide it where you want it, and then it's stuck for good. The sample over here with the collage on the bottom right, it says "Speak Your Truth." The little straps, pieces of burlap that are on the front, I glued those on with a giant glob of the new glue, and you can't even see the glue anymore. When I put it on, I thought, oh, I really hope I don't know what I'm talking about, that dries like I think it will. Oh yeah, you walk over there, that burlap is stuck with that ultra thick gel, and so it really does dry awesome for you. So it's a good mix. I just keep both those on my table at all times, and I just stick my finger in them and glue, and it works awesome. So new big tissues. What's cool about the big printed tissues is they can be focal point, they can be background, you can crinkle them up in underlayers. If you go look at Diane's designer challenge, I used my words all around the base of the hat, and then I used her paint over them. So they're great for under and over layers. And the words I'm obsessed with. Oh my gosh. I need more, and I need them bigger. So, you know, they give you the prototypes, and then you're like, oh, I really love them, and I want them this big. So it gives me ideas for more products. So just fun. These are all things I need to, they're very me, the saying. So if you ever have suggestions for more, because hopefully people buy these so I can do way more of these. I really enjoyed using those too. So made out of the same stuff. Now what's fun about the collage paper is that we also give you some blank, because it's just a cool surface. And listen, if you have a store and people are like, oh, I want to buy deli paper, and you're like, okay, go to Costco, you're sending them out of your store, right? Why? You know, some store owners will buy deli paper and pack it up. That's awesome, but not all will. So we also give you some blank in that pack. So instead, upsell that pack to them. Karen's nodding. Yeah. Maybe store owner, you know how it goes. Don't send them out of your store. Send them to keep. Hopefully you can have something on your shelf, and that's our goal too. Is that you don't want to have them running to Home Depot and have them running to the dollar store to buy tissue and have them running, upsell in your store while they're excited. So this is the clear tissue that I've now used the gel plates on. So blank tissue. You use it like you would all of your thin papers. I've also printed directly on the printed tissue too. It's kind of fun. And when you gel medium that in, it just turns into amazing collage paper too. So I like that we give you both the printed and the plain. It's great with the resin too. So super excited about those tissues. My whole house has tissue everywhere. They get stuck to my feet because I have bits everywhere, and then I walk around my cat. I'm like, what is on my cat? I'm like, there's a piece of tissue stuck to it. I'm like, oh, let me get that off.